Men are handsome and steady. All of them are ready to take you round the country. Besides all the action, you'll get total satisfaction from our sea water and sand. Your beaches cannot compare with those we have down here. Come, 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 come and join the fun. A time to eat, no time to sleep. There are endless parties, cultural activities, races, both land and sea. A time to wine, free up your waistline. Put some rhythm in your soul, get rid of the cold. Come, 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 come and join the fun. Canada, USA, Africa, Trinidad, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. Oh, what a festival, a small islands bacchanal. Come, 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 come and join the fun. A time to mix, a time to kicks, a time for hugging, kissing and caressing on a favorite beach. A time to jam in a band, parading back drunk and bikini. Oh, what a sight to see. Come, come, come. Oh, Danji, you surely convince me. I'm going to gather the bosses. They are coming with me to regather city in your beautiful country. Hey lady, get ready your passport, plane ticket you don't need
pushing your way through the crowd. Suddenly your voice started getting low.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and pretty Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, those of you listening locally, regionally, and internationally.
See that woman there in the ring. What she start to do, she think, Hamsa Willie, Hamsa Willie, Hamsa Willie, Hamsa Willie, Hamsa.
Yes, tonight we will be having on with us Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. We say a special good night to all the listeners. Those of you joining us via 91.5. 91.9 will be up soon, but 91.5. All you know, I love my music, eh? Just feel it in my soul, you know. Hey, Papa, don't say I open phone line. I see people calling. Let me answer and see. Let me see. I didn't even say I open phone line, you know. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hello, good night.
I cannot hear Sheldon Scott.
You're not hearing us?
No, I'm not hearing you. I'm only here watching your mom moving. Your mom moving, but I hear nothing.
That may be something on your. Were you hearing the music a while ago?
Nothing. I wasn't hearing nothing. Only see you dancing.
I think that may be muted on your end because it's coming through on my end here. So let them check your system for you, okay?
Alright.
Okay, my dear. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone else. Usually someone would message me and say, well, you know, yeah. Usually someone would message me and say, caller, I'm always glad when the callers call, even if the mistake is on their end. Because sometimes I may be in studio thinking it's on their end. And many a time, I say, caller, no, that problem is on your end. And then you hear 2 or 3 people say it and you realize, no, Sheldon, it's on your end. So you have to check, right? So, yeah, I know that Facebook has been giving some problems. That's why I always encourage people to use the YouTube. Yeah? That's why I always encourage folks to use the YouTube as much as for Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, we doesn't focus on Facebook. YouTube. Yeah? Because the other reason that I usually encourage people to utilize the YouTube is this. When it comes to Facebook, when you sign in and you're watching, there are people that could go on and they could see, well, okay, Shirley James is watching, or Susan Grange is watching, or whatever. They could look and they could see that, right? But when you're on YouTube, unless you make a comment, they can't see that you're there. Yeah, so you could be there anonymously. You could watch the whole program, and unless you comment, nobody would know that you're on YouTube. But even without commenting on Facebook, they know you're there. Which is why we always have quite a lot of people on the YouTube, because we're dealing in this country with a bunch of vindictive, childish people. Yeah? These are the kind of people, remember when you were smaller and you're playing cricket and one guy come, is he ball and he, no, it's his bat and he out and he don't want to give up, so he just take his bat and he put it under his arm and he go. Yeah, that's how this government operates. Yeah? It's their bat. They come with the bat, but they find they ain't supposed to out. So you out them in a clean bowl. But they want to turn over the bat to somebody as the person who out them. When they play little rounders and them thing, yeah. They want to pass the bat to the next person. So they want to spite you. So they take the bat and they go home. Or they take the ball and they go home. Because they find, no, well, I supposed to bat right through, even if I out. Remember they had one MP at time was saying, even if he out, he batting still. If the whole team out, he batting still.
Don't waste this precious time. What will happen tomorrow?
Let me take that country voice on the top, man. You can't take that like folks. We'll be bringing on Senator the Honorable Norland Cox at 8:30.
This is what we call love. I remember when I was young, love and music was something I owned. Needless me to say, that was the music of the day. They used to play a nice melody in G, but that was the sweetest thing for me. And when the song of the banjo hit the air.
Well, folks, before we bring on Senator Cox, there are 1 or 2 things that I want to dive into quickly. It's already 12 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. So before we bring on Senator Cox, there are 1 or 2 things I want to deal with. I want some people to understand something. Grenada is a democratic society. we can air our views and opinions. You don't have to agree with it, but we can air our views and our opinions on any issue. Yeah? You don't necessarily have to agree with it. And if you believe that our position on a specific issue is wrong, then you can air your opposite opinion to it, or you can extend on the issue and say, well, no, it's not just that, it's this. You can air your opinion. But I see a trend developing that there are people that are trying to create this Kim Il-sung or Kim Il-jung or whatever the guy in North Korea name kind of society. It is creeping in here. There is a creeping sort of, I don't just want to say dictatorship, because it's a lot worse than just a dictatorship, that is creeping in here in Grenada. A government minister in this administration dare not talk unless the prime minister said they could talk. They can't hold press conferences unless they get the okay from him. And he wants to be the chief cook, still the bottle washer, and the person who taking out the trash. He wants to be the person that speaks on every issue as much as possible. He don't want to give anybody else the opportunity to shine. It must be he and he alone. Yeah? You have their on-air personalities disrespecting the intelligence of the Grenadian people by constantly telling them, don't listen. Who the hell is them to tell you who to listen to and who not to listen to? They are disrespecting you. And many are uno sit down there and letting them disrespect all you like that. Put them in their place. You have your intelligence. And that is why on talking points here, we respect your intelligence, which is why we say, watch them. We ain't saying don't look at the program, look at all of the program. You know why? Because the truth will always stand. The truth will always stand. Facts will always stand. So we ain't had to try to tell people don't watch them, because we know they have no truth and no facts over there. We want you to watch because we want you to understand the nature of the beast that you're dealing with. So we're not saying don't look at their programs, watch it. You're going to see how stupid they is. You're going to realize how vacuous and dunce they is. You're going to realize that they are nothing up there. They are nothing up there. Best that it flush it. Because that is all that they have up there. It deserves to be flushed. So we ain't telling you don't look at them. We ain't telling you don't watch them. Look at them. Watch them. Because they are showing you exactly who they are. But we also encourage you to look at these programs. We provide factual information. We can back up what we say. We don't come and just say things here. We can back it up. I realize that there are individuals out there who, for instance, anytime Linda Straker says something, Linda Straker mustn't ask no question. So Linda Straker, who is a journalist, and in my view, the most respected, who want to vex, the most respected journalist in Grenada is Linda Straker. Because whether it's the NNP she had to ask tough questions or the NDC she asking it, she don't care, she asking everybody. She has not come out and said supporting this one, supporting that one and all kind of thing. Never you hear with that. And she asks deep questions. But the NDCites and them, the brown nosers, the sycophants that follow the National Democratic Congress. And listen, this does not describe all of the members of the NDC. There are people in the NDC who is godfather for the children. There are people in the NDC who me and them good. We see everywhere we talk, we lime, we hang everything as normal. And they are part and parcel of the NDC. When it comes to the politics, they know where I stand, I know where they stand. We have no problem with each other. Because those individuals have sense. They have decency. They were properly brought up so they understand how to interact with other human beings. But then there are those who want to take their politics and make it a private thing. So they want to hate this person and they want to vex with this person. I don't hate anybody. There are people I will have nothing to do with, but I hate no one. My heart has space for that. I hate absolutely nobody. I hold no hate. I ain't grow up so. My people is not that kind of people. We don't hold hate for nobody. There are people I will just stay away from. There are people I will not interact with. Me and your friend, I ain't sitting down and take a drink with you. I'm not your friend. But I hold no hate towards you. I'm sorry for you. Because I know what is going to happen eventually by all that burden of hate that you're carrying. So they could talk as much as they want and say, don't look at this, don't look at that, and all kind of thing. We telling you, look at all programs. Educate yourself. Understand what all different sides are saying. I wouldn't help them promote the program, so I wouldn't tell you what programs to go and watch. I wouldn't help them promote the program. They are to promote the program for themselves. If they think I go come here and help promote them, joke they making, I think that we are a little more wise on this program than to come here and be calling their program names and say, don't watch or go and watch. No, advertise your stuff for yourself, brother or sister or whoever. But we say, look at everything that Simon says. And she is fast becoming one of the most, if she's not already, one of the most respected. Well, I don't know if to call her a blogger or political commentator or what really. I don't know what category to put Auntie Jenny. But you hear the respect when you go on the streets and you go on the buses and you go into the shops and you go on the beach and you go into the restaurant, you go different place. You hear the level of respect that people has because she researches, she comes back and she says it as it is. She takes no prisoners, and you can't say she's a NNP, you can't say she's a NDC. So if she has to make a negative comment towards the New National Party, she does it. If she has to make a negative comment towards the NDC or whoever else, she does it. And she backs up whatever she says with factual information. If you don't like what she says, or you don't like what says on this program, you don't like what says on Royalty James program, you don't like what Master Carl and so say on Independent Talk or on the midweek program or the extension or so on, you don't like what is being said by Mr. Andre Donald, whoever, you know what to do. Nobody in your house forcing you to listen. Nobody is there forcing you to listen. But you see, they're worried. That's why they could put out all the nonsense, and so they are worried because they recognize what is taking place. They realize it. They should call an election if they feel they're big and they're bad and they feel something is wrong with the New National Party. Call an election now, let me see what's going on. Call an election, let me see who is man and who is mouse. Call an election now and see what happening. All you feel, all you do, the list go save all you, joke all you making. But they don't want you to hear these things. Look, let me use a classic example here. Let me see if I can pull this up. An example of what I'm speaking about when I say they don't want you to listen to anybody else. They don't want you to hear what other people are saying. They don't want you to pay attention to anything but them. Yeah? They don't want you to pay attention to anything except what they are saying. You must use them as your sole source of information. You know who used to do that? Let me tell you who used to do that. Back in the 1930s, there was a guy by the name of Joseph Goebbels. Yeah? Joseph Goebbels. He was the chief propaganda minister for Adolf Hitler. And what he did is he shut down all other media. No other media was able to say anything. Those days, all they had was radio and newspapers. They didn't have television. Radio, newspaper, and the movie theaters. That was how Germans got their news. And to brainwash the German people, they ensured that no view that was opposite to theirs was coming out. They take all the books in the library and they burn it. Any book that had anything that was against what they were trying to teach and push on the German people, they take all the books and they burn it. They take off any radio station that was not saying what they wanted to be said. Any producer of any show, be it a theater show or so on, or movie producer, they either lock them up, they execute them, or they run them out of the country because they only wanted one set of information going to the people of Germany. And you know what that caused? That caused the deaths of tens of millions of people. Because the German people had their mind warped because there was no alternative information coming to them because of Joseph Goebbels and Hitler. And you have some people playing little Hitler here in Grenada right now. You have who want to play this Joseph Goebbels here in Grenada right now. So they only want you to listen to them, disrespecting your intelligence to cipher and siphon information. They want to disrespect your intelligence, and it's high time you all stop them. I saw a post by the Honorable Emlyn Pierre today. So the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, a small team from the New National Party, well, we constantly have people going up, so there's a small team that was up there today, and the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, and in fact, let me bring this big for you all to see it properly, because I don't think you'll see it how I have it there, so let me bring it up large. So the Honorable Emlyn Pierre went to Carriacou today, and she just made a few statements in relation to what she was picking up on the ground, what she was hearing in Carriacou, what she was seeing in Carriacou. Yeah? And she simply said at the end of the day in Carriacou, A, motivated by love and strength of the Carriacou people. B, so grateful for the Samaritan Purse, other organization, and all volunteers. C, disappointed at the speed of government rebuilding program. D, very impressed with the response to the NNP programs on the ground. D, I don't understand the dumping of debris in the playing fields. E, very concerned that basic supplies are not meeting some people. F, highest commendations to the utility companies. G, I'm really tired. She'll share the rest later. Right. So the Honorable Emlyn Pierre was in Carriacou. You have some photos there of her up in Carriacou, the Meals on Wheels, the toilets that the NNP has set up in Carriacou, and so on. You know, just some photos of what she was seeing while she was there in Carriacou and what she was picking up on the ground. One individual decide now, let me just make it thing here so you can see what I'm referring to. Let me see if I can, right. An individual by the name of Abigail Ellis, I'm calling your name on here because me afraid nobody and me really care. Abigail Ellis decides that she go in and dress down Honorable Emlyn Pierre for talking. Remember, Honorable Emlyn Pierre was part of the New National Party administration when Hurricane Ivan hit. She was a junior in the cabinet at that point in time. So she understands what it took to rebuild Grenada in the short period of time that the New National Party rebuilt Grenada. But Ms. Abigail Ellis decide now that apparently, unless you are a supporter of the NDC, you're not supposed to talk in this country. So you're not supposed to have a view in relation to anything but Ms. Abigail Ellis. Don't forget, it's easy to just click on your profile and find out who you are, you know. You're not the same one that's be hosting when Mr. Terence Forrester can't make it to host the NDC Heartbeat program. You're not the same one that's be hosting the program. You're not the same one that working with is Nation Builders or Washer. That's kind of get confused with the two of them because as far as I'm concerned, both of those entities have a lot of question marks around, in, outside them because $500,000 of Grenadian taxpayer money was given to them before they were even registered. You working there, ain't it? You working there, so you have a problem now when somebody, so what, you're protecting your bread? That is the problem? So nobody else must have an opinion. Whether it's Miss Linda Schraker who you're attacking when she make a statement, whether it's Miss Emlyn Pierre, but who is all you to tell people that they can't have an opinion? Where all you come out? Where all you come out to not people can't have an opinion in this country? Who is all you? Who gave all you the power to remove people's democratic right to speak about things in this country? Who died and made you all Lord of all you survey? You, Miss Ellis, are calling you out tonight because you're disrespectful. How you could just come and decide that people can't have a view? You want to state your view? Nobody have a problem. You come under the post and you state your view. But you can't come there and play you telling people that they can't have a view. Who is you? Where you come out? When people was rebuilding Grenada after Hurricane Ivan, when people like the same Emlyn Pierre get young people and go around this country and build houses for people, some of them still standing to this day. When she helped create programs like the Imani program, the new Imani program, all those youth programs back in the days, where all you was? And people mustn't have an opinion? Nah, man, I can't understand all you. Something definitely had to be mentally wrong with some all you. All you. Go on there, Honorable Emlyn Pierre, and let her know all you feel. Let her know all you can't be doing this kind of thing. People must be free to have an opinion in this country. You sing a song against the government? Feel you're making it into, sometimes you're making it into semi-final. Sometimes they give 1 or 2 obliged to go into semi-final. But they had a voice note circulating that certain people must not make it into the final. I feel the voice note is it's circulating. When people was rebuilding Grenada, we don't know where these people was. That is why one idiot could come last night when we hear him talking about, oh, he didn't hear Grenada collect any SIF after storm surge and thing. Leave people to have their opinion and speak. I do not have a problem with you supporting whichever political party you want to support. No problem. Support which party you want to support. No problem with that. I support my party. I look at people on social media right now and who's supporting Boise, who's supporting Terra, who's supporting Dash, who's supporting Muddy. You feel I will go and tell them they shouldn't support who they're supporting? I would be out of order and fast. Support who you want to support. When Intercall come and some people say they're supporting high school and who's supporting SAS and who's supporting MacDonald College and who's supporting Bishop's College. You think I go and put my mouth in it and say don't support? I would be fast. Leave people to have their opinions. We live in a democratic society. If you want to offer an alternative opinion, there's no problem in that. This is a democratic society. Do so. But don't try to dress down people when you have nothing to show. Nothing to show as what you contributed to this country. Don't do that. Don't disrespect the Grenadian people like that. All you need to stop that. You all, if it's not Minister PM, put something or you jump under the post. So if people don't know who you is, you're defending your bread. We understand that. You have a look at work, you're defending your work. Nice and good. No problem with that. You're supporting your party. Nice and good. No problem with that. Don't tell people what they had to say and what they do have to say. You're out of order and rude. You're fast and out of place. And I'm done on that. Folks, in a short while, we'll be joined by Senator Honorable Norland Cox. I'll have to give him a call, which means don't call him, because when I call him, if you call, you go kind of throw off your audio and thing, right? Nice, yeah.
Last year enough people said give you a song. In all fairness, I told all of them hold on. It was only 1 year.
Everybody had a social media platform, you know, they could go and say the thing. You could go, you don't like what I saying on mine? Go and do your own. All right, so, okay, so we will be bringing on Senator Cox in the next 10 minutes. We won't be bringing him on right now, but in the next 10 minutes, we'll make the connection with him. Yeah, you don't like what I'm saying on this program? You find you could do your own program, then by all means, get a camera, a YouTube page, a Facebook page, go and do your program. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. You have a democratic right to do it. You don't have a democratic right to slander anybody. Yeah? But you have a democratic right to go and say what you... That's enshrined in the Constitution of Grenada, that we are allowed to hold our own opinions. That's in the Constitution of Grenada. Yeah? So don't give the impression that people... And I'm speaking in general here to all of them who find that people mustn't say nothing. That people mustn't look at this. What we living in? Which country we living in? Any country that you hear that sort of thing, watch yourself. When ministers have to go and line up on the airport, like look at school children when the Queen come. When ministers have to go and line up on the airport because their dear leader is coming back into the country, tell yourself your country in problem. When your leader, the person who is in charge of your country at that point in time, decide that it is necessary for their photo to be all over, and I'm not speaking here at the schools and official government buildings and so, but when you start to stick it every 2 feet on the highway and put it on around the roundabout and all over and so, when you start this glorification of the individual, your country in trouble. Watch yourself. When you have the mouthpieces, the brown nosers and sycophants of the ruling party telling you don't listen this one and don't listen that one, and they're looking to see when you're online what program you're watching because they want to attack you, Yeah? They want to see that one. Even if you stand up in tongue and they see you talking to me and you happen to be a government worker, tell yourself by the time you reach back to work, you're in problems. You're getting transfer. They're looking for some kind of thing to bring you up on some disciplinary charge for something that probably the whole office doing, but they want to get at you. They want to create this atmosphere of fear. They want somebody afraid them. Let me tell them today and I'll tell them again. If it's one man in this country ain't go afraid them, it's me. And I know it's more than that because I know Dr. Mitchell ain't afraid them. I know Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell ain't afraid them. And I know many of you ain't afraid them too. But if it's one, me afraid them. They could say what they want, they could do what they want. I will never afraid them. I set up paff. The last NDC had 11 seats and they jumping up and dancing and all kind of thing. 11 seats, we are 11 seats. NNP done. That's the end of NNP. No more NNP. What happened to them? Every man Jack lose their seat. All. Yeah? All. And not only once, they lose all twice. So you get look at 9. You're feeling good. Yeah? Don't worry, man. The day is coming closer and closer every day. And I'm just taking this call, but folks, remember, we're not going to be taking calls until after we're done with Senator Cox. But go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Sheldon.
Hi. Yes, you're live. Go right ahead. Caller, listen to us on the phone line. Go right ahead.
Yo, Sheldon.
Yes, sir. Yes, we're hearing you.
Sheldon.
Caller, listen to us.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
You was saying, I'm calling from Springs here, original Moran Lane.
Yeah, man.
Original me, you, Doc, Raji.
Yes, man.
Springs are saying.
Yeah, man.
Cox.
Yeah.
Cox is a bad boy. You understand? Cox do something for us in Springs community, and I appreciate that. You do a road, which I get hired on, which I work nicely, and he put lights in the pasture, and NDC want to control the lights, and the lights I don't want to go on and all kind of thing. I don't like that. You understand? And he put lights in the pasture.
Well, don't worry, brother. I'll be bringing on Senator Cox in a little while, okay?
I don't like that.
Yeah, man. I'll be bringing him on in a little while.
Listen to me. Mr. Cox. Sheldon.
We're hearing you, man. Go ahead.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sheldon. Sheldon, this is Moran, and Mr. Cox is a good man to us.
All right, my brother. So we'll talk again. All right.
I was saying, I see Mr. Cox, he do good.
All right.
He do good because right now, NEC running a short.
All right.
NEC running a short right now, and they're not really doing nothing much of Springs. Mr. Cox was a man that do real thing for us, do thing for us, you know.
Okay, brother.
Spring people.
Brother man.
You understand?
I
call him in name, Lord. On a lane. You are saying, Mr. Cox is a good man. And he's doing, and you implement the light in the pasture, not NEC. I tell you only that, not NEC that implement the light. Mr. Cox that implement the light for us.
Yes.
They play ball, huh?
Yes, but yeah, I have to take the break now because I have to go and bring on Mr. Cox. So I have to take the break now. So Marlon,
I tell you,
hold on.
Springs, man.
Yes, man. But I'm gonna have to end the call now.
Take the break, Sheldon. Take the break. What I said. Take this break there, Mr. Cox. What's your name? You are in the call now?
Yeah.
I want that Springs man call, but I tell you all this truth. Mr. Cox run this, Mr. Cox run the short and run the community around me.
I said Springs man too, you forget her.
And he knew none was. And he want to control, he put on the light and all kind of stupidness. What's that one, Mr. Sheldon? Anyway, good night. Have a blessed night. But Mr. Cox is the boss.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's my Springs people. Yes, for those of you that may not know, I have deep connections in Springs as well. Huh? Yeah. I can visit my mother's grave in Springs, my grandmother's grave, and then her mother's grave, and all of everything in Springs. Right. Folks, so I'm going to take a short while to get in contact with Senator Cox. But before I do that, let me ask a question here. You all see this material? this is material given in Carriacou to the government of Grenada. Yeah, this is some of the material that they have there in Carriacou that was given to the government of Grenada. And this material, let me see if I could find the thing there, boy. Wait, there. It have a nice look of video. Where the video go? Yeah, right. I think that is it there. Nice. So, this is the material given. Some of the material that has been donated to the government of Grenada out there in Carriacou. Now, one of the problems I have is this. You just have the material outside in the open like that. To the tradesmen, tell them what is going to happen to that lumber as it out there and it doesn't seem to be treated. But what is going to happen to the untreated lumber if it is out there for an extended period of time? You're just seeing some other footage out of Carriacou as it is right now. Yeah, the playing fields. One of the questions that they're asking is what is going on in the playing fields in Carriacou. Yes, they're gathering all the materials there. And so, okay, you bring it to the playing fields and so is the plan after that, right? So that's just one of the things that they're doing, right? But they're saying to you, if you're taking wood and you leave it outside with the rain falling and then the sun come and shine on it. So the rain wet it and the sun shine and the rain wet it and the sun shine. Take a guess as what's going to happen to untreated lumber when you leave it outside like that for an extended period of time. Yeah? And in that case, what I would think that you would try to do is utilize as much of it as you can, as quickly as you can, before it starts to warp and have problems and so. There are people in Carriacou that need it, that could have done help build a couple house and so in Carriacou, where you just have it pack up there, stack up there, in the elements, yeah, uncovered. And a lot of this is untreated that you have out there. Come on, man. It's a real watch. Let me see if I could bring real mawet, you know. Real mawet. Yeah. Real mawet. That kind of nonsense. You understand? Mawet. That is what we see going on up there. Mawet. Right? So, folks, I'm going to try to get in contact with Senator Cox in a short. I'm going to try to get in contact. Let me see if I could put on a song here and try and get in contact with Senator Cox, so we can have our conversation. Nice. Let me see. This one's not here. Let me try that one day.
Grenada, may God bless you. Grenada, may God bless you. The gem of the Carriacou.
Hello?
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. I should have on the line with me Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. Senator, how are you doing?
Pleasant evening, Sheldon. And let me say a pleasant evening to Talking Points family.
You're sounding real clean and crisp there, brother.
I had to go look for this spot.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, man.
Yeah. Now we're still struggling with network issues.
Yeah. Before we go on to the other areas, how is the family?
We're doing okay. As with most families, we're trying to cope as best as we can. With the changing situation, and as I indicated before, it's not so much about to what extent that one was impacted. It's just the fact that everyone, neighbors, everybody's impacted. So it's everyone. It doesn't matter. And so you feel it for your neighbors, you feel it for your colleagues, family members. And so Carriacou is a very small community in the true sense of the word. And so that is the impact that it has. So I think everybody's trying to cope as best as they can and help out wherever they can so we can see ourselves through this.
Indeed. So how have the programs that has been put in place, how have they been going thus far? I know that there was a team that came up today and had a look at some of the issues and so. How is first of all, the Meals on Wheels, how is that going?
I think the Meals on Wheels is probably one of the most outstanding initiative that has been implemented as a response to Hurricane Beryl in terms of support for citizens, residents. It has been quite very good. I must add, we have received not just verbal but also tangible support in persons who indicated that, look, what you guys are doing, we really like that, and we're going to contribute to it. Whatever we can give, they're sending, either if it's meat, provision, whatever, seasoning, whatever they can put their hands on to ensure that we sustain this hot meal initiative as long as possible, or as needed, as required during this difficult time. And one of the things that is so fascinating about it is that, and it's a true and genuine support for every Carriacouan. And you can ask anybody. Anyone can just roll up and ask, is there anything there to eat? Anything hot? And once you have, we give. So there is no questioning about anything, your son name or nick, nothing. Once you come, we give, and that is all we do. And it is something that for us, that is where we really get the gratification, knowing that we can provide a hot meal for persons. But we have some specially targeted persons in the communities, some shut-ins, elderly. So we drive every single day to bring meals to those persons whenever we prepare. And so we do that as well. So some targeted communities, targeted individuals, persons who might be disabled and bedridden otherwise, or persons who just don't have the capacity to come to town, can't move now because we have limited public transportation. So that is what this initiative has been doing. I think it's very impactful. I'm happy to be spearheading it on this end, and I think that the party should be proud of that initiative in reaching out and finding a way to complement what is going on, and also to find other ways to see how we can improve and support Carriacouans and Petit-Martiniquans during this trying time.
Now, outside of that, we know that you all have the bathroom program, and I saw the photos, very clean, very well kept, and so on. So I want to say kudos to the team that has been doing the work in keeping the bathrooms clean. And so there's a team that comes up, or there's a team, they bring up a truck every now and clean it. And so how does that take place?
So we have our the portable toilets, and it's an initiative that we thought that way of responding in terms of towards the health needs, sanitation response, to ensure that persons have access to clean facility, washroom facility. As you know, a lot of persons would have lost their entire homes, and obviously you lost your bathroom as well. And if you're hooking up or you're shacking up somewhere, then there is a demand for the use of that washroom facility wherever you are. And so we thought that it would be a good initiative to have these portable toilets on island to provide that support in that regard. And that has been, I think we have been receiving calls for some in other areas, so we don't have enough. But what we have been doing is monitoring the usage and then making adjustments, maybe moving it around certain areas to get the most use as much as possible. That is what we have been doing. But I want to say that we have 4 shelters have received their toilets at 4 of the shelters. And so we are happy to provide some support to the shelters while they have washroom there. But because of the amount of persons, the traffic, that is also to provide support to the shelters. And then we have in certain communities where a lot of persons' homes would have lost. They lost their homes. A lot of persons, so like Leicester up on the pond, we have one there, and we have also in Hillsborough and other areas. So that has been going well. And I think it's important, Sheldon, I want to spend some time in detail and maybe put this issue of the portable toilets to rest, because I've heard some, I don't want to even say negative, but ridiculous, I think is probably the appropriate word, regarding this initiative and indicating about this toilet and doing the portable toilets and making sense. And who it's coming from, I think it's really disappointing and embarrassing, But I want to go into detail. Now, before we roll this out, there were discussions with Solid Waste Authority in Carriacou to ensure when we're disposing and to to conform to the policy as to how we dispose. Yeah. Now, I'm saying this in the context that this is not the first time we have portable toilets in Carriacou. Whenever we have national festivals, carnival, regatta, maroon, there is always portable toilets for persons to use. So in terms of disposing the waste, there is a process, a procedure, solid waste that is always in place. So point blank, that is a non-issue. So I hear people talking about how the toilets are going to clean, how you're going to be disposed. That is a non-issue. And for somebody who was a former minister for culture to talk about portable toilets, about how it's going to be clean, and knowing that you had portable toilets throughout Hillsborough to provide for persons, for onlookers, for paraders, people who taking part in carnival, and to asking now how it's going to be clean, I think that is ridiculous. Now, we have a truck, a pump truck, that is stationed here in Carriacou, and so we do cleaning twice per week. And so any of the units that need pumping out, the truck is stationed right here, and we just pump. In some of the community areas, like in Leicester, the persons who use the toilets, they took the responsibility to clean it and maintain it. And we just provide all the cleaning items. And so we have ample supply of clean items and toilet tissue to run this program for a few months, well, if not, I think comfortably up to December. Yeah. So
that mean we don't want more. Eh? If we get more, we taking it just to help.
Yeah, I definitely. But I just wanted to put it to rest so that that I don't hear about this anymore. And just to backtrack, and I mean, the honorable MP, on a program a few days ago, said also about the Wheels and Mill program that he don't understand, and I have to call him. That is MP Ron Redhead. He said that the first thing that we come up with was to provide food for people, eater food, and by giving these people food, we're generating garbage, we're generating a waste, and we probably shouldn't have done that because it wasn't a good idea, because there was no proper collection system for waste in Carriacou at the time. I mean, I never hear something more ridiculous.
I can tell you something. I can tell you something more ridiculous. We played last night. We played last night.
Well, I heard it. I heard. Yeah.
But it's just as ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. But you know what was really glaring about his remarks? We started our hot meal program here on the 8th, 1 week after the hurricane. And there are another organization who is cooking more food than us on a daily basis. Far much more food, hot meal than us on another basis. But yet for all, we are generating a waste and we're creating a problem. But the other organization is not doing the same. They are cooking more food than us on a daily basis. What we are doing is complementing what is taking place. And for him, the only thing that you could come up with, all you have to say is that Cox, you guys are doing a good job, it's a good initiative, and that is point blank. It's that finish right there. You're trying to find something negative to about the initiative that we are trying to support our fellow Carriacouans and Pidimacans alike with. I mean, that is just, point blank ridiculous. So I just really want to point that out. And I think maybe for the first time in a long time, Sheldon, I give people the benefit of the doubt. And I think probably now I really understand why he's a former minister. Now I truly understand why he's former and not president. So I did not say not more on that matter. So I rest my case on that. But those two initiatives are moving forward quite nicely. And we just started on Saturday a third initiative whereby we go into households. We identify persons, so persons can reach out to us if you have a lot of debris around your yard and you need support in cleaning. If you have repairs to do on your house, once you have the materials, we can come with like nails and tools and things like that we can give some support with. We do not have any material on hand at the moment. We'll see how that goes as we go forward. we're going to give some support in helping you rebuild and to find some comfort for persons and their family going forward. So we have started on Saturday. So it's basically we just re-implementing what we have in place with what we call the taskmasters. So the NMP taskmasters, we go out every Saturday from now going forward to touch someone's life in a positive way, be it clean up their residence, be it help them to rebuild their home and to get their life back in order. So we started on Saturday, and I mean, trust me, Sheldon, I was so moved, that I didn't realize that the gentleman, he was so worried, and he was laced with uncertainty. And after we got the four sides of the house up, we covered some of the windows, and you could feel a sense of relief. His kids came around, and they said thank you, and other family members, they felt so comfortable that they could move forward. Still afterwards, later in the evening, other persons came by telling me, some of the things that he was saying, that look, you think he better pack up and move to Grenada because, you don't know how he's going to move forward. So it is clear that it's not just he alone that is in that mindset. And so we all have to do this together. We all have to reach out, whatever spare time that you have. If you can spare a day, you can join us. I mean, while the efforts have been led by the National Party, we're not preventing anybody from coming to help, because other people came while we were there. We started with our team, and then other people came and joined us and put in a hand and come there for all to and support what we are doing. Because while as an organization, yes, we are doing that, this is beyond that. This is beyond on politics right now, because we have to reach out and work together. Everybody had to help each other during this difficult period. I mean, I got help to clean up around my house. My neighbors come through, help out, and we're just extending the blessing going forward. That is basically what we're doing.
Great. So that's another initiative now. So outside of the bathroom, outside of the Meals on Wheels, and so there's the taskmasters now who are going to be going around and helping people put their lives back together. Declaring up. Yes. You have the materials, and so they're going to help you use the materials, utilize the materials, and put your life back together.
Basically, so we have our tools. We have generator. We come with our generator. We have tools. We have hammers. We have nails. We have battery power drills. So we have stuff that we can work. We have a level crowbar. I mean, we have stuff. So just give us a call, and we are going to be there to give you some support. Yeah. So you see, Sheldon, I mean, I have to pull out back my carpentry skills back in Russia. So yeah, I mean, it's just fun doing it, But for me, what we try to do, we try to make sure we do it safely. Mm-hmm. We don't want any incident or accident at all.
And make sure you put in the hurricane strap and thing too, man.
Make
sure you hook it up and thing.
That is most definitely. That is something that because we know we just start, the hurricane season just start, and so we have to as we rebuild, trying to rebuild a little bit stronger, a little bit safer for persons. So that is where we are. Additionally, we still continue to provide relief support. So as we receive supplies, we go out. Maybe I think sometime this weekend, we are planning to traverse through Carriacou. We have some relief supplies, so we may be going around with a truck and just seeing how we can touch some families with other stuff, not necessarily and mainly food stuff, but it may be water and other toiletries and other important stuff that persons need on a daily basis.
Let me just say, when you're doing that, Senator Cox, one of the complaints that we've heard on this program and other programs has been that when some of these trucks passing, they're only passing on the main, and they're not reaching the people who are down. They're down a little side road, and so they're not going down there. And most times, by the time the people hear something, a truck gone. So a lot of people in these areas have got nothing so far. They get nothing.
That is quite true, and I'm happy that you raised that, because in that interview with Honorable Runrated, he was indicating and stating that this response was a far better response than Hurricane Ivan, during Hurricane Ivan. So I don't understand why you would try to choose, make such a comparison. Now you have the entire state of Grenada was totally devastated. Now you have Carriacou in its sense, and Petite Martinique, just a microcosm of what happened throughout the entire state 20 years ago. And you're indicating that it was much better. You have at your disposal 118 plus million from the insurance, and yet for all, you're still struggling. I think in comparison to at one time, we didn't have cash readily available as a country for relief response, and so I don't understand why you would make such a comparison when you know that the relief effort have been very sluggish, and in somewhat a lot of ways have really missed people, have not really touched people in the way I believe that the donors have been intended for it to happen. And I think that is evident, and that is not me saying it. I am just repeating the voices of the people, and Sheldon, and persons can check. I have not been vocal or participating on Facebook or whatsoever for obvious reasons. I just felt that wasn't the time for that. But you hear people speaking loudly, and it wasn't anything along party lines. It was just poor people, ordinary people, just felt they were just being left out. And you hear the stories of pilfering at the NADMA facility, generators missing, all sorts of stuff missing, and what has happened is that we have this response effort from the Samaritans Purse, which I believe has been the most outstanding response, far outdoing government's response in effort. I mean, you go through Carriacou, more than 90% of the taps that on person's roof came from them. And that is a fact. It's there, it's visible, you can see it. They have this water initiative where they bring potable water, desalination water for persons to use because Nawasa was down. So you have to commend those initiatives. I'm learning. I have reports meeting me that they will be leaving very soon, as next week.
The Samaritan Spurs?
I think yes.
Wow,
some of them are going. They are going. If not all, they are going as soon as next week. I don't have all the full details on that, but I believe that the de-escalation is too soon, especially for the water initiative, and the other support that they have been given. It is my understanding that they are going to leave the field hospital, probably hand it over to our health officials here. So that is good.
So we got three field hospitals. Well, if it is true that they're handing it over, that is, we might end up with three, because we've got two already. One is Carriacou has its own that was donated by the U.S. government. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's one that was donated
for
Carriacou.
Yes, I recall.
People are trained in Carriacou in setting up that. Former Senator Garway could tell you.
That unit wasn't used. I don't know what was the status of that, but Samaritans Plus came in with their field hospital, and it is my understanding that they are going to hand it over to the Ministry of Health for them to manage and to going forward until Princess Royal Hospital have been rehabilitated. As I said, those are unconfirmed reports, but that is what I was told by Samaritan Purse official. But I do know that they are de-escalating, and between the 7th and the 10th of August, they should be moving to another island or something of that sort. And some of the persons are already probably started going.
But they are the
ones. A matter of fact, this morning, just to recall, this morning on the boat, about 5 o'clock this morning, some of the equipment were being put on the ferry down to Grenada, generators and other stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Because you mentioned the water, and I don't think people may understand just how important It is the water that they have been providing is. They have been providing for a lot of people throughout Carriacou and even to extent Petit Martinique. They are the ones that have been providing water using their desalination plant. As you mentioned, the last time you were on, a lot of people's water source has been contaminated. And you no longer have the roof to capture the water, to capture the rainwater capture system does not exist for many people. Most people, because they don't have a roof for the water to filter down to the catchment system. So what Samaritan Purse has been doing, especially when it comes to the water, is very important. So we hope and pray that at least, even if they're leaving, that at least that aspect is retained somehow.
Well, I can confirm that those units are not going to stay. Yeah. Whatever the reason, I think whatever discussions that they have with officials, some decision was taken for those units. I probably believe that they would have offered them to us, but for whatever reason, I don't think that those units are staying. So those units are returning. I do have some concrete evidence that the units are being prepared to return, to be shipped out. However, that being said, I still think that there is an opportunity for us to replicate what they have done in terms of having some satellite locations where NAWASA can bring water to communities, into the communities. They can truck and use tanks, so persons can do the same thing, can walk to those sites, those localized sites, and collect water on a daily basis. So I'm just suggesting that as a way to, because NAWASA do not have a pipe network throughout the island, they would have to take a different approach, a disintegrated approach in terms of getting water to the respective communities, because persons do not have roof currently, and for persons who have roof, they do not have guttering, and some persons who have guttering, they probably don't have storage. Almost all the black tanks have been blown away or bust, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the challenge for us. And for me, that is one of the greatest concerns that we have right now, our water initiative. We get water solely by rainwater harvesting, mainly, while we have now a sort of support through our desalination plant. But that is the key, the crux of the matter. And I think that in itself also have some health implications. If we do not have ample water for daily sanitation purposes, then you can have other health challenges going forward. So there is a strong correlation between having potable water and having a healthy community, a healthy citizenry. So that is the challenge that we have. So I do hope that they have a plan to complement and to support and to even to stronger than what the Samaritan Purse have implemented or initiated. And so we look forward. As I indicated, I have not heard any concrete plans as to how they're going to approach the rebuilding process in a logical way. We haven't heard anything. It doesn't mean that there may not be one, but we haven't heard. I'm giving the government the benefit of the doubt that they do have a solid plan as to how we are going to recover and rebuild. And well, so we look forward to those plans.
Let me ask this question. As one of the people who would hear such things and know such things in Carriacou, we know that NAWASA, the National Water and Sewage Authority, have received over $2 million US payout from the CRIF. Yes. Now, do you know if there is an intention of utilizing the majority of that money to supply at least some form of constant supply of water to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique? I mean, what I would say, and people often say don't give advice, but in cases like this, we have to give advice because you're dealing with life and death. We deal with life and death.
I know that NAWASA would have made some response. I think they have some water trucks. I think 2 on island, probably holding the range between 1,500 to 2,000 gallons each of them. So you could say in any one trip, you have like 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water available. What I don't know is if they're having other challenges. But I'm indicating that what has happened in terms of how Samaritans Purse have set up throughout the various communities is a clear opportunity for them to replicate that and to provide that support during this period where we have more than 80% or 90% of roofs off on our buildings, which are our primary catchments. So that I trust that they have a response in that regard, because we are going to have some challenge. We are going to have some challenge. Remember, people have to wash, people have to clean, people have to cook, people have to eat. So it's going to be a heavy demand. I mean, just imagine with all the roofs on, when dry season comes, we always have water challenges. So, and now you just come from a dry season.
A bad
Person
one.
tanks are not
A
fast, a
bad
bad
one.
one, long one. Person tanks are not filled. It's let's say below quarter or less in some cases, and you are not able to catch any water between now and December if you don't put your roof back. And so what is going to happen is that you're going to have some issues. And also currently, a lot of the water in the cisterns are compromised. A lot of leaf get in some cases, persons who live close to the coastline, the water is salty. There's a lot of sea blasts move with the hurricane, with the strong winds, and contaminate the drinking water. So it might be an opportunity for persons to individually assess their catchment. If it can be treated and salvaged, then that is fine. There might be an opportunity also for NAWASA to pump directly in person's tank as well, once those tanks are clean and sanitized and it's okay. So there are some things that they can look at. There's some things that they need to walk through to ensure that we deal with this water issue that is staring us in the face going forward. So that is one of my major concerns that I have.
Yeah, water is life. You can't do without water. And I mean, you see, you hear the Chinese ambassador was up recently, and I often mention the Chinese because whether it's the mobile phone, the laptop, or a purification system, nearly all of them are made in China. And I don't know if this government has the wherewithal, as how a doctor's right honorable Keith Mitchell, Senator Norland Cox, former Senator Simon Steele would have, to be able to speak and negotiate with them and say, hey, can you all provide us with 2 water purification systems that we can utilize in Carriacou to back up the desalination plant that is there, and one for Petit Martinique to back up what is there, so we don't at any point in time, because even now we're in the rainy season, but I'm pretty sure that the temperature today was a record high.
Extremely hot today.
We've been having a heat wave, so we're back into this heat wave thing again. So we have to, right now, I got to take out the barrel from inside and empty it out, and I changed my mind, I ain't taking the chance now, because I realized like we back into this cycle with the heat wave and thing again for how much days. So, and that's down here. I could imagine for in Carriacou, what is going on? So I really, really feel it for my brothers and sisters and my relatives, all my friends, the people of Carriacou, those who support, those who don't support. I love everybody. So I really, really feel it for the people in Carriacou, especially on this issue, a basic issue of water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is some good news, good feedback in terms of on the power side, on the side of power. We have a significant support from Carriacou, which is the regional body where all electricity companies within the OECS region, I think Carriacou actually, they provide support to one another whenever they have disasters. So currently, we see an escalation in terms of work on the restoration of the power, which is welcome and very good, because I know that the use of generators is not sustainable. It's very expensive and very unsustainable. So I think we have on island, we have electricity workers from Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados, I think that I know off the top of my head. From the mainland, Grenada, of course, and on our local team here. So about 5 different teams and also trucks. So wooden equipment and trucks have also came on island. So there is that is the kind of response that we you would want to see in terms of how you move forward. You see escalation. But when you look at the whole issue of the cleaning has been quite sluggish, and I over the weekend I've been hearing some reports, in some cases unconfirmed, some confirmed, and there is this information out there which truckers in Carriacou feel aggrieved that trucks on the mainland receive contractual work to do cleaning, while trucks in Carriacou was not given an opportunity to benefit. And so
to do cleaning.
I know that is yes, there are persons who receive. Just today also somebody confirmed to me that companies in Grenada receive contracts to come up to do cleaning, to remove debris. I'm not certain
So
if
when
it's
you
through
say
solid waste.
when you say contracts, you mean these people are being paid? They're getting money.
They have been paid. Yes, reports meeting me that they have been paid either through infrastructure or through MIT. I think MIT is instrumental with those contracts, and also probably solid waste. So it is. I want to say that it's alleged. I don't have hard evidence, but it's reliable.
Mm-hmm.
It's reliable. More than likely that persons would have been paid to remove debris, and that is fine. And that is not an issue. I'm not saying that persons should not be compensated. Those equipments cost a lot to maintain, and persons have business and is for profit. And so that is not the issue. The issue is that there are persons on island, the trucks on island, who were never approached, given an opportunity to benefit in some way, as you know, in terms of livelihood, because of course all economic activity had ceased in that regard. So I personally sat with some of them on Saturday, and they were very vocal and very upset by that. That was one of the issues that they were very upset about. Another issue that they're upset about, which I somewhat agreed with them, was that the use of the recreation grounds, the playing fields, to dump the debris, the galvanized and other debris. Carriacouans were not happy with that, indicating that as a way to get things back to normalcy, the use of the playing field and the recreation ground should be made available as much as possible, so that persons can go and recreate and to kind of come back to some normalcy. That is how they felt, and they feel that a lot of resources now would have to go to restore those grounds back for proper use. And so those were some of the issues that I heard personally from persons on the weekend while we were just hanging out with a few people. So, but I heard also that commencing from today, I think there were plans to engage the local truckmen to pay them to remove debris. I don't know if that happened or if it's going to happen. So that is what is taking place on the ground. I think that they have engaged teams of people, like how you would have the debushing and so. I think they have engaged teams of people now to do cleanup. So I think there was some done in Petit Martinique and some in Carriacou as well. So those persons have been paid now to do cleaning, as far as I understand. That is, can't confirm such, but just trying to make sure I don't give wrong information. But I know persons are being engaged to do cleaning in that regard. And so all that is good and well.
Let me ask this. So houses in Carriacou not good enough for Carriacou people. Even at a stage like this, a time like this, the houses ain't good enough for them. So the contracts to do the cleanup in Carriacou from people who have lost their jobs, because you're speaking to people in Carriacou and you realize the place where they worked, it ain't just closed, it disappeared. It's no longer in existence. Ido day. Everything gone with the wind. Are we not talking about old movies?
as recent as today, I was speaking to someone, and they were saying that, look, somebody who got a contract on the mainland reached out to them to ask to get somebody trucking Carriacou to work along with them. So the information is reliable.
So
That contracts were issued.
Well, I'm just getting some information from another individual who I trust fully, and they are giving me similar information that they know of individuals that were hired by government to provide that service in Carriacou. And we're saying here there are people in Carriacou who can provide the service, who need the employment, who need the funds. I don't know why. And the thing is, from what I'm picking up on this end, you may not pick it up on that end, it's key party supporters that they're trying to give these contracts down here. See what? Anyway, that's what I'm picking up. I'll leave it at that.
Well, well, of course, I mean, it's quite evident the whole political atmosphere is there. I mean, I have not really spoken about it, but persons have seen it, persons have felt it in a lot of ways, and it's deep, it's deeply rooted. I mean, we would have seen, like for example, you have our experienced and trained disaster coordinator, which is Mr. McIntyre. I think he's an ASP or something of the sort. I'm not certain about his rank.
He used to be, yeah. I think he's retired now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he was recalled. He was recalled.
Why? Let me ask the question. Have you any idea why he was recalled? This is an individual who worked with. So let me inform, because he
travels throughout the region.
Yeah,
to provide
he was in Dominica.
Support, yes.
He was one of the key people in Dominica when they were leveled with that hurricane. I think with Maria or whatever. Several other places, hurricane, earthquake. He's there. So I'm still trying to understand why move him from Carriacou. Why?
Well, not just move him in less than a month. He was recalled. Probably after 2 weeks or so, he was recalled. So I don't have any details on why he was recalled, but I mean, it was just a little bit puzzling that there is different in every disaster. There are various stages, and then you need persons with the competencies to apply the required responses at those stages as you move to those stages. I must also commend the government that I see a lot of counseling initiative has been taking place, and that is commendable. Mm-hmm. That is required, and that is quite necessary, and we need to sustain it as much as possible to provide that mental support for our loved ones and residents. So I really want to commend them on that initiative to ensure that we continue to get that counseling support. However, on the aspect of schools, we're still quite uncertain as to what is going to take place with schools. There is a bit of uncertainty there, as I indicated. Well, I myself, I have two boys one is in primary school.
Hello. Oh, it seems as though we've lost the signal temporarily. Let's see if we can reconnect with Senator Cox.
So,
yes, we lost you for a second,
yes.
But we got you back. Go right ahead.
Yes. Yes, I was saying that with the whole aspect of schools, I have been listening, but I have not heard any clear pathway on how schools are going to be done from my senatorial colleague, that is Senator David Andrew, who is the Minister for Education. I know that there was a meeting with educators in Carriacou a few weeks ago, with efforts I figure to garner what is taking place on the ground and look at some possibilities for school, but we haven't heard anything concrete thus far as to the way forward for schools.
Well, I heard something out of that meeting, but it wasn't about schools. It was basically a dressing down that took place of the Honourable Minister by the MP. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Yeah, so nothing has been said to the parents, and you're a parent, obviously, of what is the plan for school?
I shouldn't say that nothing has been said, but I'm saying that I haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a release from the Ministry of Education speaking to that in any event or so. So that is something that we are looking at to see what is going to take place with schools.
Because you're roughly speaking 4 weeks from now, eh? 4 weeks from now is when you're speaking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because it's gonna be there's a number of things that they need to look at. I mean, I have in my head, and based on what is logical and workable going forward, in looking at some of the facilities that are standing and those that are destroyed, also take into account the stage at which some of the kids are at. I think efforts should be made to see if we can get at least the CSEC classes started, and also the persons for the CXC, find a way to have class for those persons. At least we can start with those, the Form 4s, the Form 5s, the Grade 5, the Grade 6. I think there is a clear opportunity to start with that. I think there's enough space in the schools to at least to start with those. What will be most critical for that to work is to ensure that the teachers who will be responsible for teaching those classes, there may be a need to find out what is their situation at home, whether or not they're housed, whether or not they're comfortable, whether or not they're homeless. And if so, if there are other teachers who can suffice, that might be in a more comfortable position. So I'm thinking that we can start there. There's a clear opportunity for us to start there. That is what I would probably recommend. But I haven't heard anything. And as it stands now, I don't think that there is any need for us to conform to any uniform. When a person could just wear normal clothes, and we can start with that just for this semester, and come January, hopefully that we're in a better position. We can add classes, add other forms as we go forward. That would be my suggestion and recommendation for school as it stands right now. But we need to start school. Mm-hmm. We need to get our kids engaged.
So, Senator Cox, you've spoken about the situation when it comes to education. I want to, unless you have something else you want to say on the education, I want to move on to...
Nope.
You have something else you want to say on the education. Go right ahead.
No, that is fine for now. I just want, because I said I don't know what plans they have, so I'm just giving my take on from where I sit and what I see and what I think will be useful for us going forward as we continue to recover and rebuild.
Yeah, because right now some schools are being used as shelters. That's where people live in there. So I mean, and you have basically 4 weeks, you're back to school again, eh? So and there has to be some, especially, and there has to be a strategic approach to those students who are supposed to be leaving the primary school system and going into the secondary, and those who are going into their CXC exams also. I would submit that there needs to be special emphasis on those two groups of students. The ones who are going into the secondary school system or ought to be going into the secondary school system, and those who are getting into, now they have to do their CXC, eh? They're going to be doing their CXCs. So how do you deal with those students? Even if you have to bring all from both secondary schools together, whatever you need to do, but at least some serious approach needs to be taken on that. Senator Cox, I want to move on quickly to the issue of healthcare in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. You briefly addressed it a little earlier when you spoke of the fact that Samaritan Purse, because I don't think, unless some folks have visited Carriacou and seen it for themselves or been directly involved. And again, I want to continue to say thank you to former Senator Bishop Devon Rocher and also Pastor Happy Akasi and his family for the excellent job that they have been doing guiding the work of Samaritan Purse. Even before the storm hit, the work that they have been doing to guide Samaritan Purse and what they've been able to do for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique and St. Patrick, because they did some for St. Patrick as well. So what they've been able to do thus far. Now, Senator Cox.
Well, before we go on to the healthcare, I mean, I just want to underscore, while Samaritan Purse have been doing quite a lot and probably outstanding, I really want to also thank all the others, like the World Central Kitchen, who have been cooking hundreds of meals every day. We have the World Food Program. They have also bring great stuff. The Red Cross. I mean, everybody and individuals who have really dig deep in their pockets to send stuff. You know, the countries like Guyana, Antigua, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, who also got hit, but also provide support to us. I just don't want us to forget those support, and while we kind of narrow down on Samaritan Plus because of the specific initiatives that they are working on in terms of what is very critical for us, which is the water and the health care. I think sometimes we may look as if we're leaving out all the other support, but I just want to underscore that the other support have very, very much welcome and also very significant, and they have been meaningful and purposeful in our relief and recovery response and effort. Yeah, I just want to underscore that.
Yes, indeed. So, Senator Cox, the present situation, the Princess Royal Hospital, severely damaged, temporarily abandoned at this stage. The Hillsborough Health Facility, that is being used as the main facility on the island, backed up now by the facility that the Samaritan Purse has been running. They have doctors and nurses, and they provide medication and different sorts of treatment at that facility. Now, Samaritan Purse, as you said, they may be leaving the field hospital, but they themselves are leaving, which means several of the specialist services that people were able to get there, they will no longer be able to get. What is the situation as obtains to healthcare availability? Are people, for instance, able to get the medications that they need to get? And I'm not just speaking here of true facilities like the business that you're operating and so, but from government. Are they able to get basic medications and so from government? Are they able to receive proper treatment or proper triage services? Are they able to, an accident happen, you're able to deal with a person effect, especially with all the, and especially for diabetics especially, with all the nails, broken bottle, galvanized, pieces of wood, pieces of iron, everything around. It's a nightmare for diabetics. Are people able to receive proper treatment?
I must say from my observation and from what I have reports that I've received, no major issues on the health side because we have received additional support in terms of doctors, in terms of medication. So all that was part of the relief effort. Some of the medication that persons would need, antibiotics and other stuff, so a lot of that came in as part of the response effort to ensure that the health aspect was properly responded to. We had a lot of support. I must also underscore Dr. Davis, or community doctor, who also had significant damages to his home. So he was out and about trying to see if he can get back the daily clinic days, because persons rely so much on support from the clinic to get for community health doctors and nurses. So that response have been pretty okay. I must also underscore that through the efforts of course the National Party government, the Hillsborough Health Center, in terms of renovating it and making it a smart center, we see that how important it is to build smarter going forward, better going forward, to respond to escalating climate impacts. And so that facility withstand the hurricane to a great extent. And so we could have there as a kind of temporary hospital to support persons. So what they have been doing, in most cases, a lot of persons are going to be transferred to a general hospital for care. If you just maybe just overnight to observation, they would keep them. But if they require extended care, they are being transferred to mainland Grenada. So that is what I've observed that is happening currently. So no major issues. Public health, they would have responded in terms of trying to deal with the mosquitoes and the flies, and so a lot of that right now, it's really a nuisance, and so they have been doing some fogging. So there is some response, and the health side have not seen or heard any major issues or challenges, because we did get significant support in terms of additional doctors coming on island to support our team here. So that was quite good from those organizations who provided that support for us. And as you know, they have the experience and they know that is quite needed.
What's the situation with the health centers around the island, though? How many of them survived? Do you know? Have any idea how many survived?
Just the Hillsborough Health Center, from my observation. All the others sustained significant damages. and they're not functional currently. They're just probably trying to clean them out now and to put taps on them and to find some way to do some work in there to support the community going forward.
Okay. Has any movement been made in relation to the Princess Royal? Any sort of, even if it's temporary, to place back a roof or to try and safeguard what exists right now? Because if you just leave it open to the elements, it's going to be more difficult later down the line. Has any significant movement been taken to fix some of the issues there, so at least you could start operating? You work on what you could work on, but you start operating there.
Well, I want to believe that there are actions taking place in the background. I give the government the benefit of the doubt in terms of trying to get things moving to have some action, but I have not seen any physical work on site as yet. But I believe there are movements in the background to have the hospital rehabilitated as quickly as possible. Today, I think I saw on island the persons for the solar PV, they came to do a visual inspection to see what damage it sustained, to also to help restore that too as well. So there are a number of things.
That to rebuild that can restore. That to rebuild that.
Yeah, there are a number of things that may be taking place in the background. As I say, I want to give the government the benefit of the doubt that they are working on those things, and hopefully we should see some actions in the.
Okay, it seems as though we've lost that connection again. Hopefully we'll get back Senator Cox shortly. Yes, okay, we lost you for a second there, but we expect that now and again. We know the system go up there. Plus everybody that accessing the internet trying to listen to talking points, so we know.
Yeah, going back on the whole issue of...
Oh boy, and he's gone off a bit again there. Let's just give Senator Cox a moment so that he may come back on shortly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's back with us. Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, the system started to play around now there. But go ahead. Oh boy, I wonder. Oh dear, Senator Cox.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see if you could get through now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, going back on the Samaritans post and the other responses that we receive, support that we receive from the international community, I don't think that now is a time for de-escalation. I believe at least 3 months or so. I think that support will be good. Probably it should be around for about 90 days or so. I want to believe. We just concluded a month, and we're hearing persons de-escalating. I believe that there are some difficulties that we are going to face as certain things level out. Some things have not really sunk in as yet, and some of the challenges have not really come to the fore as yet. And so I think the more support system that we have on island, that will help address it and to help ease some of the burden of government. And government have indicated that whatever financial support that they receive so far, and not my word, is their words, is a drop in the bucket to what is required to rebuild. So I think if that is the case, then whatever support that we receive, we should try and extract as much out of it as we can to ensure that our community, our families rebuild as quickly as possible. So I just wanted to underscore that. Sure. Next area that I wanted to touch on was the business sector, and it's a very important, very important aspect, business and employment sector, because a number of businesses are not functioning, and so which means that persons are unemployed. I have not heard. I know that the Prime Minister came to Carriacou and met with the business community, but persons left that meeting very disappointed. Yeah, and so maybe I think the government should use this opportunity, based on the feedback from that meeting, to maybe go and review the relief measures, the policy measures, those relief measures, to see and come back to create a more comfortable outlook for the business community in Carriacou. I think that they were looking for more support, more initiatives to support the rehabilitation of the business, and somehow they didn't get that from that meeting. That is what I pick up from that meeting. I know that um, uh, there were recently the government had put out something about relief for barrel. I am not in support of a 2 barrel per household. I am definitely absolutely not in support of that. I believe that there is a clear opportunity, and I think it's fair. And Carriacouans and Petit Americans are deserving of much more. I think that for the next 6 months, we should be allowed to bring stuff home from our friends and family to rebuild and to recover without paying any duties. We have received $100 and something plus $1 million. I think whatever revenue shortfall that we're going to miss from those duties, I think that those funds should be used, some of those funds, to suffice to provide that comfort for Carriacouans so that we can get ample support without having to pay monies for those things for the next 6 months. I think that is fair. I think that is deserving. After having to go through this and having to lose some of our loved ones through this, I think our country, this country, need to respond a lot more better. I think St. Vincent has offered 6 months duty free on all barrels and on other items coming in. I think we should do the same and even more if we can. So that is my take on that particular issue, Sheldon.
Now, I myself have always been a non-advocate. Yes, I could understand some free barrels and so, but I've always thought that the better formula was providing the money to the business sector in Carriacou. In other words, generating employment. The people who have to work in the little shops and supermarkets and so that would be starting up, and even the truck drivers who bring in the goods from the port to the various shops and different things like that. The drivers, people get a D-class license now, so the drivers and so that could go about and do all of these things. I always believed that the better approach was to, instead of letting that money circulate now, and it's going to end up being into the millions when you look at it over an extended period of time, that could have been spent in Carriacou, that's now going to be spent in the US, in Canada, in the UK, even within the Caribbean, by family members that are setting up barrels now, spending this money out there, and then sending the barrel in. I've always believed that some balance needs to take place, and it would have been better to help businesses in Carriacou to make that money.
I agree, but it's a twofold approach.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff that is coming, some of the persons that they have not really purchased is stuff that is donated. So the stuff that is coming, so you have to understand that yes, it's a balance, and I do agree that government has a clear opportunity to invest in businesses. And we would have responded appropriately during COVID by giving support, salary support, and I think there is a clear opportunity for that to happen too as well for some established businesses once the records are there. I mean, there is a pattern, a model for doing it. We would have done it successfully, and so there's a clear opportunity for it to be replicated to provide that support. But I think if persons are receiving stuff from loved one outside, be it food or other stuff or clothes or other things like that, just allow a period for persons, for want of a better word, to grieve, comfortably. Just allow, even if somebody want to bring in material, if I know there is an opportunity to even lodge duty-free materials with the businesses here, so at least the materials can be more affordable for persons to benefit. So there are a number of ways that it can be done, and I agree. I support the initiative of investing in businesses and let those businesses provide the support locally, and that also is a good way. But as I said, we are waiting on government. I think they're coming back with a round of relief measures. So let's wait and hear what they come with. And hope that they can get a better feedback as against the first time when they roll out. Because persons was not happy about it. They were not happy about it.
Let me ask that question though. Is the GDB active in Carriacou at this point in time? Do you know if the Grenada Development Bank, any form, even if they put a container office on a boat up from Grenada and they're
Not to my
operating?
knowledge. No, not to my knowledge.
But that's one of the first people. Anyway, I'm giving too much advice tonight. People will start to cuss me. But GDB is obvious. GDB should be operating out of Carriacou right now to help people start up a little business here and there and so on. At least doing the groundwork, setting up, so that sort of thing could take place. But then who's I? Probably I don't know enough. So we've spoken about that, but I want to raise a major issue because I know we have just about 18 minutes remaining on the program. Probably I should have bring you on since 8 o'clock, but we know the challenges that you face. I know that you're not even close to home right now just to get a signal to be able to speak to us. Senator Cox, Petit Martinique. I've been to Petit Martinique. I've seen the situation. We say a lot Carriacou and Petit Martinique, but I tend to believe Petit Martinique is being forgotten a bit. Just like how St. Patrick is being forgotten in the entire diorama of what is taking place. I didn't say diarrhea. I say diorama of what is taking place. I believe Petit Martinique is a peculiar situation. What is taking place in Petit Martinique? How are the people of Petit Martinique in particular faring?
Well, one of the things I must say, the people of Petit Martinique, they are very strong-willed. They are very determined. They know exactly what they want, and if they feel aggrieved, they are going to speak up. And in the past few weeks, they have been paying attention to what is not happening for them, and also, likewise, they have been very grateful and commending efforts where they have received positive support. So I must say that about them. They would not be shy about giving praise and credit for things meeting them or persons giving them support. But if they feel that they are aggrieved in any way, they will also speak likewise with such voice. And so I think there are two major issues, and one of it has to do with the heavy debris that is on island, which is the zinc sheets. The government has not been able thus far to find a way to mobilize to move the debris off island, and it is creating a bit of uncomfortableness for persons. It has both not just the unsightliness in terms of creating opportunities for secondary disease and things like that to take place, but also it has a psychological effect on persons. When you wake up every morning, this pile of garbage, staring you smack in the face, it feels as if you're not really moving forward as well. So I think that they have complained a lot about that. Additionally, they have been seeing Carriacou receiving droves of volunteer support. I say in volunteer because we are hearing that some people have been paid. That I can't confirm. It is alleged, but where sometimes where they smoke, there is fire. But it's indicated that persons have been volunteering, and I believe for the most part persons are volunteering. That is my belief. But you're hearing otherwise. So I am very hopeful that is the case, and we're very grateful for the volunteering effort from persons from the mainland. We really appreciate it, and so it has helped. However, Petit Martinique has not had an opportunity to receive such a response in terms of the volunteers being there to assist with the cleanup and so they were also speaking loudly about that as well. Mm-hmm. So those were some of the two major issues that they had, but I must indicate that they have had a good response in terms of managing whatever supplies and resources that they received. That they have a very good structure of the network in terms of the team and everything, and so their response have been pretty stable, and they have been communicating to the community likewise and giving updates, and so they have been doing a pretty good job. I must commend Petit Martinique in that regard, the response team out there. Unlike In Carriacou, we had so much reports, of persons not satisfied. Stuff have been pilfered, stuff leaving the port and not getting to Nadma, stuff leaving Nadma and not getting to people's homes, and so those things are not the kind of response that we would want to see or want to hear. It doesn't augurs well for us, otherwise, either regionally or internationally. So I think that is something that has really troubled the whole response support initiative from persons, that they have this child. I think there was a lot, they tried to put a lot of systems in place to manage, and but Sheldon, one thing that is evident is that the majority of people that was part of the whole core of the NADMA team was definitely direct, immediate supporters of this government. So it just goes sometimes that your own people can put you in sticky waters as well. So it's a lesson for us that sometimes it might be more useful to have a more diverse team than just having persons who you believe are your political support or operative. So it's a lesson for all of us, I believe.
And one of the things that really touched me is when I saw people in Petit Martinique, for instance, that they are the ones that are out there in the forefront and they fighting and they getting this done. Every time you see a picture out of Petit Martinique, you're seeing people like Maxan and so. And if people only know what gone with Maxan House, he disappear, he gone, yeah. And yet still, they have put that aside and decided that there. And I think all of the workers, both in Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and here on mainland Grenada, who were adversely affected, but yet still, even with that, have put that aside and are trying to help. I think when they're giving out national awards the next time around, they have to think of some of them. Those that been doing good, and not them that playing partial. Those that been doing good, yeah, they need to look at them.
But while we on, I cannot help not speak of it. While we on the whole issue of the volunteers. So the last time I think was on GBN, to the point I did mention I had an engagement with the Honorable Ron Redhead, and I heard him on the program, and his story changed. And I'll explain. So I was sitting in my vehicle on the port, waiting to pick up my brother off the Osprey, and he walked to the vehicle, and he said hello to me and indicated that we need to work together. I said, look, man, that is a no-brainer. We got to do this together. And he said that a letter should be going to the leader of the opposition for the party to designate somebody. And while he was saying that, I had 2 or 3 people in my head who I could quickly recommend, as to walk along with the response initiative. Now, on the program that he had recently, a few days ago, he said that he told me that a letter may come, a letter may not come. So the story changed. But I don't think a letter came, and he also indicated to me that Cabinet had appointed him to be in charge of the volunteer initiative, the response initiative. So the volunteers, he was in charge of that response and that initiative for the volunteers. So he indicated that to me. And while he was talking, he came, Sheldon, I normally I don't really, me.
People you don't respond.
I don't go into details with certain things unless I'm being poked. You understand? I hold back a lot of stuff. I know a lot of stuff. I could say a lot of things, and I because of principle, I wouldn't. But when, persons making certain comments and saying certain things, it forced me to speak. And I didn't bring up no conversation about any Starlink to the Honorable MP. He came to me and he said, Cox, there were some folks who were trying to get a Starlink to you. Did you get it? I tell you, I mean, as God above, that is what was said to me. I started to smile because I knew what went on. But I didn't really make any issue because the Starlink was intended for public use. So I said, no. I said, I didn't get Starlink. I said, and Nadma took the Starlink. You took the Starlink and you're using the Starlink. I mean, what else could you do with Starlink more than to offer Wi-Fi for network connectivity? So I smiled. I said, it's not an issue. It's not a problem. Because I had 2 or 3 other communications for another device or 2. So it wasn't an issue. I never really make an issue about it. And I mean, I could say what he really told the people because they communicated to me, but I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it on air. I mean, you know,
me and you gotta talk now. I go say it after.
You know, so for him to give some impression that you know, just scrape off the top and you know, as if it was a fluff, that's not the case. The Starlink came. I mean, there was communication. The person was informed to direct him. I even actually had to pick up the person. You know, so but as I say, I don't want to go into detail with that because that is small stuff. And the device was for public use because even as we speak right now, there is still no network communication in the north of the island. When I get to the north, I roam from St. Vincent. I don't know what my bill is going to be at the end of this month, but I haven't looked at it as yet. But obviously, it's going to be much higher. And so, while in Pitty-Matnick last Tuesday at a family member funeral, I met Alvin Dabrio, former MP, and he has been working hard trying to restore, to set up a new tower, a new cell tower in Pitty-Matnick because the cell tower has completely damaged, destroyed. So they're working, hopefully by next week, I think we should be able to get signal on the north side because that cell tower is going to ping from the cell site in Montreal in Carriacou. And so we should get some signal on the north sometime next week. So he's out there working real hard to with his team to see if he can get that cell tower because you know that is the area of competencies.
Yeah, that's his forte.
Telecommunication expert. Yeah, that's his thing. So I just wanted to underscore that, you know. But I'm really, and I'm saying this when I meet MP Reddit. I mean, I will share some strong words with him, you know. Yeah. I was really disappointed, you know, in his comments and his analysis and his take on our relief response as a party in this particular time. I mean, we're not in government. We have limited resources, and we are doing whatever little that we can. We are trying to touch lives wherever we can. And so I don't understand. He indicated that our response measures are mischievous. I don't know how giving people hot meals and providing a sanitary environment for persons on a daily basis and assisting them with the rebuilding of their homes and to get their lives back in order. I don't know how that is mischievous. And so that is something for he to dwell on, something for he to review. I think he need to probably apologize. I think that might be a more comfortable approach.
What I would say is this. Yeah, I know you ain't going to talk about the Let me leave that alone for another night. I'm going to do it when you're off. Because, you know, I get a picture around get collecting the same device, eh? I've received a picture because the same run who asking you if you did get it went on the airport and collect it, eh? And I have the picture. But anyway,
I didn't want to say.
The same run that come there asking like he don't know anything about the what they call it again? Not Skynet. Starlink. He went on the airport and collected from the people, you know, and take picture, taking the same one that he know was for Norland Cox. He went on the airport and take it, but God is love.
Yeah, and so
the people at Carriacou get that's the main thing.
I mean, but the fact of the matter is, I didn't raise it. He came to me. I wouldn't have raised it. I never raised it because I had gone past that. But he raised it to give me the impression that, you know, these people had this stuff for me, and he was so concerned that he forget it. and you know you receive it. I mean, what is that about? I mean, who does that? Who does that? Come on.
Senator Cox, we're down to the last 4 minutes. I think it's time for us to wrap. It's been a wonderful conversation. I'm sorry that I don't have an additional half hour with you tonight. But I know you also have to go and talk to the kids
my
tonight.
apologies. Yeah.
No,
my
no,
apologies for coming in late.
No.
My apologies.
No,
Yeah.
we listen, we understand the situation that you're facing up there. And you're also a father. You have a business that you have to take care of. And so we understand. Senator Cox, any final words for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, those that using the Starlink up there and could get a little connection and thing too. Any final words for them tonight?
I mean, Sheldon, I really want to. I am very, very hopeful for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I'm very hopeful. I mean, I honestly, I wish the government would make the best decision and to provide the best response. Whatever they do in the best interest of Carriacou and Petit Martiniquans is going to benefit everybody, and it's going to give us an opportunity to get back to normalcy. They are the ones with the hands on the wheel, and we just have to give whatever support that we can and wish for the best. And we have to not just, I don't want to use the word critique, but we have to raise some awareness because not everything that they may have the pulse on. And if we are on the outside, sometimes we have a better view of what is taking place or what has been missed. And so when I speak on certain things, it not should be construed as being political or being, as we say, just trying to contradict or so. But I'm speaking in the context of raising awareness and for us to improve on whatever decisions that we would have made or to make the best decisions for each one of us going forward, because we do not want this response to fail in anywhere. Carriacouans are too important to us, too important to me. It is my home. This is where my neighbor Stringberry. So we want this to be successful. We want Carriacou to flourish again. I mean, tonight I really want, for persons listening, I want each and every one of us to just reach out to each other, continue to encourage, especially those who are down, those who are in the shelters, encourage them, help them so that they can find comfort, they can be motivated, they can feel themselves again so that we can continue to rebuild. Because I'm telling you, Sheldon, mentally, it is not easy. Mm-hmm. It is not easy. I mean, I'm just saying it, but it's easier said than done. And so each and every one of us have to encourage each other in some way or the other for us to pull through this. We have to. And we could do it. As I indicated before, I mean, I encourage persons who have intended to invest in Carriacou before this hurricane. Please don't give up on us. Don't give up on us. Carriacou is still the most beautiful place. Paradise Beach I passed it today. It's so pristine. The water was calling me. I had so much to do, so I couldn't dive in.
All right.
I want to thank the Honorable Emlyn Pierre who came to Carriacou today together with our brother Nimrod Olivier, and they had an opportunity to visit some of the shelters and to speak to persons to get a feedback from what is taking place. First of all, a great appreciation for what is taking place on the ground. The reason why we are doing that, that will also help us to shape and to frame initiatives to create more support for persons going forward. Mm-hmm. And that is what we can do, and that is what we should be doing. The government has asked for all hands to come on board, and we are on board doing our part. They have asked for us to work together, and we are working together with our communities and to support the government response in every way possible. And Sheldon, people who know me, and you know me, I'm truly hoping that they get this right.
Yes, indeed.
It means too much for us. I really do. They hope they get this right.
Senator Cox,
all right, I just want to close that.
I've got to call it right here because I've got to get out of here. I would like to thank you so very much for being on with us tonight and for sharing.
I want to promise one thing though.
Yeah.
I want to promise one thing. Next time I come on, I'm gonna come on video. So I want to promise
As
that.
I said, we understand the challenges,
Yes.
so we know.
Yeah.
Senator Cox,
Sure,
thank you
certainly.
so very much. You have a wonderful remainder of your night. All the love comes from all the Talking Points family. They're sending the messages and so on to you from, you know the South Side, right? Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
sending the messages to you. You have a wonderful night, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Anna. It's a pleasure to be on. Yeah.
All right, thank
Get
you.
home safe.
All right, thank you. You as
All
well.
right.
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. We've been speaking with Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. Yes. And he's been giving us some insight and updates as to what has been taking place in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. You know, I think we probably need to speak to somebody soon to find out about St. Patrick. Yeah, people always leaving out St. Patrick. We need to find out what has been going on there. Folks, in whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm signing out. Just remember, the spice continues to live.
Grenada, may God bless you. Grenada, may God bless you. The gem of the Caribbean, struck by Hurricane Ivan. The spices blew in the wind and the people all started to scream. The force of the hurricane has wrought havoc and caused great pain. And we are proud to say that we are on the rise again. Because our people are strong, it didn't take us too long to start to rebuild our land. The spice leaves, the spice leaves, the spice leaves, the spice. Yes, we're building better than before, and to your tourists we offering more. Oh yes, the spice leaves, the spice leaves, the spice leaves. The speed of the recovery have boosted the industry. Tourists who visit the land are amazed at the things they see.